If you've ever laid awake while everyone else was sleeping, wondering why you keep losing control to the same habit, you already know the heavy guilt that follows. You are not alone in that feeling. Many people try to fix this by joining a NoFap community and counting the days they manage to resist. However, obsessively tracking a streak often keeps your brain fixated on the very behavior you want to leave behind. This illustrates the problem. On the left, trying to avoid a thought actually forces the brain to stay focused on it, leading back to frustration. The right side shows a linear path, where the brain moves forward by engaging with new, tangible interests. Moving to that forward-thinking path requires a specific 5-step protocol. This system is designed to fill your empty time and provide a clear exit from the addictive cycle. Lasting change comes from replacing old urges with a more constructive and rewarding system. Success starts with your environment. Willpower typically fails when your daily surroundings are filled with constant triggers. Step 1 is the digital purge. Looking at this mock interface, you need to take immediate action to completely unfollow, mute, or block any triggering or revealing content across all social media apps. While clearing your feed stops the immediate visual triggers, the deeper issue is often the massive void of empty time and boredom you face each day. Purging your digital life creates a significant gap in your schedule. Without an aggressive plan to fill that time, the brain will naturally drift back toward old habits. This gap often leads to the white knuckle trap. Attempting to quit a bad habit without introducing a positive one leaves the brain starved for stimulation, which almost always results in a relapse. To solve this, apply Step 2, the higher pleasure replacement. Schedule high-engagement activities like competitive sports or learning an instrument directly into those empty blocks of time. These challenging activities provide the dopamine and serotonin your brain is looking for. By sourcing these rewards through effort, the temporary rush of an addiction becomes much less appealing. Observe the intense focus of this pianist. A higher pleasure, like music or sports, requires concentration and provides a sense of accomplishment. This stands in sharp contrast to the physical reality of a cheap, isolated rush that leaves you feeling drained. You overcome low-effort dopamine by providing your brain with superior, earned rewards. Even with a busy schedule, your mind will still fall into automatic patterns. The danger is often the speed at which a random thought translates into a physical action before you've had a chance to think. Step 3 is the 5-second pause. As shown in this diagram, the moment an urge hits, you must force a mandatory 5-second countdown. This acts as a physical break, severing the immediate link between the thought and the action. This delay increases your reaction time. It gives you the space to observe the impulse and recognize it as a passing thought rather than a command you are forced to follow. Use this window to perform a mental check. Ask yourself if the next 5 minutes will lead to genuine satisfaction or the same hollow regret you felt before. This 5-second gap moves control away from subconscious reflexes and back to your conscious mind. If you do experience a slip-up, the common instinct is to immediately distract yourself with more videos or games to escape the shame. Step 4 is to do the opposite, the negative anchor. Sit in the silence, acknowledge the failure, and allow yourself to fully feel that heavy sense of regret. Associating this specific pain with the addiction helps build a mental deterrent. Over time, your brain will start to recall this feeling of regret the moment an urge arises, making the habit less desirable. This technique of absorbing regret is the same method used to break severe gaming addictions. By staying with the feeling of exhaustion and wasted time after a long session, the drive to play begins to fade. Finally, Step 5 is the identity reframe. As the screen says, change your vision, change your world. See yourself not as a victim struggling with a habit, but as a person who is actively training their mind. Using your own experiences as a teacher and reframing your identity builds a more resilient habitual response. You are now working toward a new baseline. You have removed digital triggers, filled your schedule with higher pursuits, and installed a mental break for sudden urges. Understand this is a process. Old habits take time to fade. However, consistent action strengthens new pathways, while old ones lose their influence. As new habits become your default, it's easier to choose a different path. It's time to take the first step. Commit to this protocol today. Leave a comment below stating which higher pleasure activity you are starting this week. Breaking an addiction is a result of aggressively building a life where those old habits no longer have a place to fit.